Good morning. Today we're going to talk about websites and how to find good ones. The internet is a great big world, and sometimes it's very difficult to know when we find a good website and when one is there, but it might not necessarily be credible, because anyone can put anything on the internet. So you have to really pay attention to some key things to help you understand what a good website is. And first of all, let's talk about how to actually browse through the internet. Google is a search engine, and there are many of them. Google's the biggest, and it's one that will probably give you the most responses. For example, I typed in Fatmonster and came through with 578,000 results. So we really need to narrow that a little bit. But for today's sake, I just wanted to point out that you have in your URL both the web, images, maps, shopping, and more when it comes to Google. But the first thing that we have listed is the navigation bar, which is this white bar, and you can either type in your address, if you know it, a site address, or you can just Google a word, but you're going to come up with a lot of results. Fatmonster is actually an online almanac, dictionary, and encyclopedia, and it's designed for students, so that's why I have chosen to explore it a little more today. Notice that it is www.fatmonster.com. .com stands for commercial, and what that means is that there's probably advertising on it, and they may try to sell you something. Nothing wrong with that, but you just need to be aware that you may get advertisements as you research. You might also get just one point of view. Other possibilities are .org, O-R-G, that stands for an organization. Many times it's nonprofit, and again, it may just be slanted to one point of view. Others are .net, that's a network, and networks often provide services to other customers, so it's kind of a pass-through usually. .gov, G-O-V, is a government website, and those are usually pretty reliable and informational. And the other one I want to point out is .edu, educational. Those are usually good too. However, keep in mind that a third grade student can put something on the web as well as a well-renowned chemist from Harvard. So there's quite a bit of difference in the type of author that you're going to find in those EDUs. So you have to be careful. But for now, let's go to Fatmonster. And here you will see a navigation bar, and again another search button at the sitemap. And you have icons that will allow you to pick which area you want to concentrate on. So let's hit science. And underneath that we have several other headings. And we're going today to look at the weather. And you have many links within that. As you can see, we soon would end up with over 500,000 links. That's a big website, isn't it? Winter storms. Let's see what we can come up with. World and U.S. extremes of the climate. And here we have highest recorded temperatures, the greatest rainfall, the lowest recorded temperatures, lots of charts to look at. Good information, but again, this is a commercial website, so where did they get their information? if you go all the way down to the bottom of the site, you will see source. And Fatmonster says it got its information from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. That is a government agency and quite reliable for collecting the weather averages in the United States. Down at the bottom, you will find links to help you find out more about Fatmonster and where they got their information and how to cite those sources. So what I want you to keep in mind is 4 letters, C-A-R-S, or CARS. It's a good one to remember as you travel through the internet. First of all, look for credibility. Is the author listed? And in this case, the source certainly was. Do they have credentials? Can they be contacted? And you can find a place to contact Fatmonster if you have a concern or a question. Was the spelling and grammar accurate? That's just a good indication that someone, the author of the website, was thorough and took their job seriously before they published. The second letter is A for accuracy. Is the date current? Let's go back and see what we can find out. Well, Fatmonster's database was 2007, but we probably could find out that the reference site used might be later than that, because what you will see if you go through Fatmonster is they use other sources to collect their information. Columbia Encyclopedia is their source for an encyclopedia, and it's updated every day. Then the other letter you need to pay attention to is an R, reasonableness. Are all of the facts on the site fair and objective, and does the author appear to be concerned with the truth, or is it just kind of a random piece of information that you're reading? And finally, the S for support. Does the author provide support and information? Are the sources listed? And in this case, you can see that it definitely was. And are there other sources with similar information? There might be a place that we can go find additional sources. And here we go. Info, please. And it tells you where their sources are coming from. And here we have an advertisement for Netflix. Again, things you have to be careful of when you go to a .com site. So we really don't want to see that. But again, as you evaluate a website, look at the site address. Is it a .com, a .gov, a .edu, or a .net? And pay attention to CARS: credibility, accuracy, reasonableness, and support. You'll be working with a checklist later in class to find out if a website that I've picked for you is a good one. So have fun evaluating.